Okay, it is 1 p.m. on a Sunday and I am driving home to take a poop. That's right, it's 1 p.m. on a Sunday and I am driving home to take a poop right now. I haven't pooped today. It's been kind of crazy. Had to go out to Estacada. You might be able to see back there. Estacada is a little spot in Oregon, a little rural town. And I was helping out at a community barbecue. I don't live there. I actually live in Portland, so I have to drive about 50 minutes to get home. So I'm gonna be, again, driving 50 minutes. It's 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I have to drive home to poop, and it's gonna take me about 50 minutes there. If you're wondering about my poop, the first thing I will tell you is I'm not prairie dogging it right now, and that's good information. It's definitely knocking at the door. That's what's kind of crazy about it, is I do feel it knocking, and I'm a little, not like worried, but oh man, you know, it can come at any minute. I'm not somebody to like go poop out of the blue or something. There was one time after Chipotle, not Chipotle, but I guess Popeyes, you could say, Popeyes, where there was a little oops poops going on. I feel like that's probably kind of normal for like a Popeyes thing. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Anyways, it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to take a poop, and it's about 50-minute drive. It's gonna be crazy though to like go and drive 50 minutes knowing I have to poop, and then also just commentating this whole entire time about absolutely nothing. Again, it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to poop. And you know, I'm driving through a lot of beautiful part of Oregon. This is not an area I spend much time in outside of doing work activities out here, so that's fun. But you know, there's reasons to be out here. There's good kayaking, there's good river access. But the main thing on my mind is just like the fact that I have to poop. You know, when I'm in this situation, the biggest thing I like to remember is to not fart. If I were to fart, what could happen is that's when the oops poops can happen. The older I get, the higher chance of oops poops can come, and I just want to do my best to avoid an oops poops. Avoiding an oops poops is definitely the main priority right now. My family's at home. So when I get home, I'm gonna have to just like straight up say, hey, I'm so sorry, honey. I gotta run to the bathroom and take care of this. It's 1 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm driving home to poop. The drive is about 50 minutes long, and I am in fact hoping that I can make it home. You know, there's so many of us, like we all go poop throughout the day or at some point during the day, hopefully. And I think we all have kind of like our pooping routine. Mine is definitely like in the morning, after having like not breakfast, but coffee. Generally, like if I'm on target, it's like a 9 a.m. poop. 9 a.m. today though, I was on the road to get out to Estacada. Now you're probably wondering, hey, what was the bathroom situation there? It's a bathroom situation at the event that I'm leaving right now. The bathroom situation, moving over here so I can just kind of better pay attention. I don't know, you know, well, maybe I'll come back. Bathroom situation at the event. There wasn't porta potties, but there was like a bathroom inside of a health clinic. And I didn't want to use it. There's people inside that health clinic. And I feel like if I were to, you know, use it, that I would, I don't know, people would know. It's one of those bathrooms where the door is like right there on the hallway and like the desk are across from you. And that just has a big opportunity for definitely like some reverberation for any kind of flatulence or farts that would come out. So I you know, I was aware that if I were to take the poop there could be an audience. I didn't want there to really be an audience just because they're my coworkers, and there's something about like having to poop in front of your coworkers and like farting in front of your coworkers that I just didn't feel down for. I am cruising on here right now. There's a cyclist who's going pretty slow. and so I just had to pass him. And yeah, so I simply just didn't feel like I wanted them to have to hear my poop. Now, I'm definitely curious about this poop. Sometimes, when you're holding in a poop, you don't want to hold in a poop. I get it, but I'd rather just be comfortable. That's the truth of my poops. I'd rather be comfortable, and I want to be at home, pooping on my porcelain throne and just having a good old time. Let's see. So I chose not to do it today, and it wasn't lack of cleanliness of the restroom. It just, again, was position of restroom in relation to where other individuals were at the time of my needing to poop. So again, it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm driving home so I can take a poop. I just passed some roadkill. Looked like a raccoon. 2 raccoons, actually. So I wonder what their story was. Maybe they were trying to just make their way across the street. Generally, roadkill happens because an animal is just trying to make their way across the street. It has to be a little bit of little confusing for an animal because you're like going through a forest and stuff. You can see a lot of trees behind me, some open fields here and there, homes. But I would imagine it's a little confusing because you're like in a forest and suddenly there's just like this pavement there. And I feel like the pavement is, going to be unexpected because you're like used to it. But I guess at this phase, there's been animals and stuff around and paved roads for such a while that they probably are used to it, but they're not used to it enough because I still see roadkill all the time. And those 2 raccoons were obliterated. They are not looking good. I had a conversation at the barbecue today, and it was with a man named Don. And Don was telling me just how you got to wrestle with your boys. So you have a boy out there, go wrestle with him. Don says it's a good thing to do, and I agree with Don. I think you got to wrestle those boys. Get them nice and tuckered out. These boys got a lot of testosterone running through them. So tucker out your boys, wrestle with them. Don's advice from me to you, so on and so forth. Again, it's 1 o'clock. It's now 1:16 officially, 1:16 on a Sunday, and I am driving home to poop. And I'm hoping I can get there in a timely manner. What's nice, this drive is nice, just driving through this part of town. Barton is where I think I'm at right now on Highway 224, getting ready to take a poop. And time is ticking. I'm supposed to get, my arrival time for home, I believe, was around like 1:50. So that seems to be maybe still on track, the 1:50 arrival. Oh man, I tell you what, Joe, just knowing that this poop, I can feel it. When you have to poop, obviously, because you're watching this video and you're like wondering about this guy who's telling you that it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to poop. But when you have to poop, and you just got to get out there and you got to poop. I'm passing Paul Bunyan Lane right now. And you just get that feeling of like pressure right around your anus where your poop is going to come out. And I can just like feel like there's weight in my belly. There's weight pushing down in my intestines. And it's saying like, let me out. It's knocking at the door. It's actually knocking at the door. Again, I'm not prairie dogging it. I think I can avoid that. I don't want to really like try to force the hold. I feel like forcing the hold is not helpful. I feel like the better thing to do is to just sort of let that gas pass. Thankfully, I'm in the car alone right now. I don't have company. Sometimes when I go to these types of work events, I'm carpooling with somebody. And so if you could imagine like, hey, it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to poop, that someone would be in the car next to me and I wouldn't even be able to let gas pass. I'm not forcing the gas, I'm just like allowing the gas. There's a difference. Sometimes I do like to force a fart just so it can really reverberate and be loud and absurd. I love a good absurd fart. I don't know about you. Something about absurd farts that are kind of fun. It's now 1:20, 1:19 actually, according to my clock, and it's Sunday, September 10th, I believe. No, 9th. No, 6th. No, 8th. September 8th. So we're about 26 miles from Portland and passing the Antique Mall, which is open Wednesday through Sunday. I'm going to get home, and my son wants to go out to a Western store. We got a Western themed wedding coming up, and we're going to do that. But he's going to have to wait for me to poop first. It's going to be hard for him to wait for me to poop first because he's just going to want to like get into it. And it's going to be weird. I'll come home and I'll probably have this camera and say, I got to poop because I've been needing to poop since 9 a.m. actually. So that's just the truth of the matter. I have been needing to poop since 9 a.m. And I went out, I put on a happy face, I shook hands, I talked to people, and it was all good. It was actually all good. And I just had to poop the whole time. That was the one thing in the back of my mind. And you know, what's funny about the poop is it's the flow of it, like the flow of pooping. It's like this kind of funny cycle of like, hey, I feel like I gotta poop. Okay, I didn't poop. I'm fine now. But now that I'm sitting in the car and I'm driving home, and I know home is like only 50 minutes away, that I can poop. And yeah, for me, that's all I'm trying to do. It's 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am driving home to poop right now. And this mission is one of the most important missions of my life. Frankly, one of the most important missions of my life. Okay, that's not true. It's actually not the most important mission of my life, but it's a useful mission. So yeah, I'm on these backcountry roads. I'm on Highway 224 going northwest out of Estacada, and we got some Trump flags out here. You're gonna see that out in this part of Oregon, and we are heading through here. A little bit of a slowdown. So what happens on these like kind of roads is it's all single lane. So you know, my lane has one lane, their lane has one lane, etc. You can see people passing, I'm sure. And so there's this tow truck and this tow truck. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm still going, great. And all right, yeah, so this tow truck was on there, and I'm like wondering if this ended up, if I'm gonna have to like flip this video. I like realized partway through that where my camera is saying I'm doing it. So anyways, it is 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am driving home to poop. I've been needing to poop since 9 a.m. today. There's probably about, 30 minutes left of this drive. Road has opened back up. Again, it was slowing down because there was a tow truck on the road, but we're back in kind of picking up some good speed. And it's like, I honestly love driving down this road, 224. You get into little pockets like this where there's so many trees and all the trees are so cool. And I don't know a lot about trees. What do you guys know about trees? Like, trees, There's so many different types of trees. There's a lot of cool trees out here. They're pretty big. I don't know how long they've been here. This part of Oregon definitely can get some fires. I don't think they've had a fire this year, but they've had it in the past recently, of course. It is 1:23, and I'm actually just using my right arm, and I'm driving with just my left hand. You see I got a little Sasquatch there. Can I be any more northwest? 1:23 on a Sunday, and I am driving home to take a dump. Got to take this dump. Right now, I feel less of that dump being a burden to me. You can see that. Oh, there's like a little pregnant woman with her husband walking a dog, trying to get to the river. That's some Oregon stuff. Right now, I've kind of, that feeling of like needing to poop right away has passed, but I can still sense it there. So I'm hoping even when I get home that it will be all good. It's 1:24 now, and I'm cruising. It's good. It's good. And so it's hard. I don't even know. Like, I got this thing. Okay, there we go. Ooh. So yeah, this is just the phone's sitting in my right hand, and that's my tripod, I guess. I want to desperately switch hands. I'll be honest. Like, I want to go to my left hand. I I'm on a curvy small road, so I'm not going to do that. It's better for me to just pay attention to the road, of course. I also don't want to mix up the angle too much. I like that. I hope that you are enjoying seeing the view as much as I'm enjoying driving on this view. You might be wondering about the type of car I'm driving. It's a Nissan Rogue 2019. Got it as like a, I don't know, some type of title issue thing. Anyways, it drives fine. Following a Toyota Tundra truck. You're gonna see a lot of trucks out here, and just cruising. Oh yeah, feeling that need to poop again right now. It's just kind of saying like, hey, I know that it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and that you're driving home to poop, but you'll get there soon. Gotta tell my body that you'll get there soon. Some slowdowns here and there. This guy, the Tundra in front of me, is taking the road a little conservatively, which is also totally fine. This road, you don't want to mess on. Lives get lost on this road every year, and we don't want that today, right? What we want today is for me to get home safely. It is important. I mean, again, it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I'm just trying to drive home to take a dump. Good old-fashioned dump. One time I was working at Albertsons, the grocery store. I was a courtesy clerk there. This is back in, and there's a dead little deer, actually, probably a dead doe, to be honest with you. So RIP to that doe. Their life was cut short. They were trying to cross the road. Again, it has to be so trippy to be an animal. Like on the right side of me is just this huge, hill of stuff. If you can kind of see, and that huge hill of stuff is probably where this like deer came from, and on the other side of that is the river. And what happens is that little doe doesn't know that the forest will be met with this pavement of cars, pavement road, and so that little doe life got taken away a little too soon. Don't know if when that doe was born, or I don't know for deers, like when you're a deer, when do you leave home? Does anyone know? I don't know. If someone does, not me though, but that's just like my rhetorical question in the moment. Like, hey, when do deers? If you're hearing that little slamming back and forth, it's my water bottle. Water bottle's on the ground. I would love a little sip of water. I gotta open a cap to do that. That's gonna be a little too hard for me to do, so I'm not gonna do it at this moment. It'd be nice to have a sip of water, maybe moisten the exit of my poop. Maybe not. Don't know. It's 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I am driving home to go take a poop. Driving home to take a dump. Driving home and I'm taking a dump. I'm passing through the small towns, passing through Carver, passing through here thinking about my dump. All right, we are at a stop sign in Carver. This is kind of the main stop sign here, and I'm just gonna put you here for right now. Okay, so I'm back, kind of. I mean, never left. So I'm heading through Carver, Oregon right now, right by Springwater Road. This area can kind of slow down a little bit because there is it's a yield left turn. So you can kind of see like we're just like waiting for one person to have a truck, truck with the trailer, to have enough room to turn left. They eventually did, and now they're going. Okay, cool. So 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am driving home to take a dump. Here we go. Ooh, someone's missing a Siamese cat. We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please. I don't know if that's the words to that song, or if you get canceled when you sing along. These are all questions to ask, shall we? anyways, it is 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to take a poop. Okay, so 1:30 now, so we're about 20 minutes into this drive and the drive's going great. So that means I actually have about 30 minutes before I get home. I don't know what traffic looks like. I'll have to take the 205, so that's just for folks who are local to the area. You'll know all about 205, am I right? There's even a place called Mall 205. It's called Mall 205 because it's right off of Highway 205. It's a mall that is off of the freeway, Highway 205. And so they looked at a map and thought, that is so close to the highway and so accessible from this highway that let's just call it that. And that's what they did. They called it Mall 205 based off of the location. Sometimes it makes sense to just call something based off the location. It's like easier just to wayfind it. So it's like, hey, here's the location. See, I have to fart right now, but it's one of those farts where it's like, if I farted, what would happen? I think I would, I don't know. I don't want to force it. I can feel it. I'm just gonna see, like, let it kind of gradually come out naturally without forcing it, let gravity do its thing. Sometimes a gravity-fed fart is useful to have. A gravity-fed fart just sort of naturally out of your body, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this like little poop that wants to come out, little mighty poop that's waiting, wishing, hoping, waiting, praying, etc. Cause I'm wishing and hoping and praying and thinking of you. All right, now I am on to this next road, and here we're just going to drive for a bit. I think I have to turn right at some point. Yeah, so I'm also, the other thing I'm doing right now that you may not know, but you might be interested in, is I am driving with no directions on. So there is no Google Maps going, no Apple Maps going, no nothing. I'm just going off of memory. How about you tell me about a time that you had to remember directions in the comments below. I'll blast these comments with a time you had to remember directions. Maybe your phone died, maybe you just knew it, maybe you're visiting a family member. We all have these stories where we just said, I'm not going to use Google Maps today. And that's what you're witnessing right now, because it is 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I am driving home to poop. 1:33 is the official time according to my Nissan Rogue's clock, and I would imagine that's like maybe 1 or 2 minutes faster than the actual time. I get my actual time from my pocket watch, which is in my hand, because I also use it as a phone and a camera. My main use for it, though, is definitely as a pocket watch. I get to see the time on it. It's supposed to, is it the most accurate time? I don't know. Find out in the comments below. So right now, just continuing to, I'm in a little bit more of a lived-in area, as you can probably just tell by seeing some businesses and trucks, etc. if you're paying attention. The thing is, I just always, again, I'm doing this with no, oh, whoa, big bird ahead. What kind of bird is that? Hard to tell, it's definitely big. We are Siamese of you, please. I don't think I'm supposed to sing that song. There's so many things you're not supposed to do. All right, so now I'm getting back on. Okay, so you got Oregon City West, and then you want to go right at the signal to get on 205 north. driving safe today. I love driving on Sundays. Why, you ask? Honestly, I feel like it's just chiller. I always talk about Sunday drivers. I think that's just people who drive slow. Just got a little tripped up because there's a car where the driver was on the left side of the vehicle, so like the passenger side, and there was a kid who was in the on the driver's side. It was like a, I don't know, European car or something. So I thought a kid was driving. Wasn't the case. It was just a passenger. Would have been breaking the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law. He's all breaking the law. About to get on 205. And it's 1:35 on a Sunday, and I'm driving home to poop. Total drive time was estimated about 50 minutes. I'm about 26 minutes into this drive. Passing some kind of army vehicle. OregonArmyGuard.com. So I don't know what that is. Maybe you can buy like a military grade vehicle there. Check it out, I guess, if you want. This isn't an endorsement. I don't get paid from them, but I'm feeling that need to like just rip ass. And I did fart a little bit. I didn't let gravity fully take it. I can tell like this poop wants to come. This poop wants to come. I'm going to see what I can do. I hope it comes all good. So at home, I do use a squatty potty. I have found for myself, it's been useful. It feels like I've had less pooping issues when I do it, and it's all good. And so I would love to do it. In front of me, the license plate has 444 on it. So if you're into angel numbers, you would like that. You'd like to know that. Otherwise, I'm at the light, 205. So I found this sticker today. It said, look, ladies, now let's get information. $1:37 on a Sunday, and I am driving home to take a poop. Poops are a funny thing. We all do it. At this light, we're waiting for it to turn green, and it has turned green, and we are turning left. There used to be a girl alone on the field. All right, we are on the highway, the freeway, the interstate. This is an interstate. It goes up all the way to Washington, and yeah, that's kind of that vibe. So I'm gonna see, should I switch? Okay, I did the switcheroony again. And here we go. All right, I am passing an RV on the right. I really shouldn't do that, but it's relatively safe. They're not doing anything. And I got poop again. So that was a longer fart. That was definitely just me allowing the fart to come. And I'm glad I did. Okay, so now we're gonna get some more information about what it's like getting into town right now. So, travel time to the 205 I-5 junction is about, they're saying up to 40 minutes. Nuts. That's been the crazy thing about growing up in this part of the country is we have gotten so busy. There's been such an influx of people. So there's that. This person just looked at me in their car. They're also in a Nissan Rogue. Oh, yeah. So we'll see what's up. it is. What's happening? There's a song called Johnny on here. My name is Johnny, so I think I'm going to have to play it for a second. Oh, so that song ended. Now it's something in the air tonight. Oh, yeah. Bop, bop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what part I'm waiting for? We all know the part, right? I remember will I ever forget? It's the first time, last time we ever met. I know the reason why you gave me moments. That doesn't show the pain to close. Strangers are you and me. All my life, oh Lord, I've been waiting Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. I mean, first of all, it is 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I am driving home to take a dump. And this drive time right now has been 35 minutes. I tell you what, nothing like listening to Coming in the Air Tonight, or I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight, to really kind of pump me up for this dump. It's when I was listening to that song and I was singing, thanks for putting up with that. When I was listening to that song, I just thought, I am that song right now. I can feel it coming. There is something in the air, and it's my giant dump. And I just need to go take this dump. And I have never been closer. Like, when I started this journey, I wasn't this close, and now I am this close. And something happened when I was driving there, and I didn't tell you, I didn't stop the rhythm, because when you're listening to that song, you just want to listen to the damn thing. And I listened to it, and I sang along. And it felt like it was about me. It felt like about my experience right now. But I actually drove by Mall 205, the mall that was named after Highway 205 or Interstate 205. I drove by it. I drove by the exit. And I didn't actually get a look at it. I think it's actually like a little tucked away. I know. It's not like right off the 205, but it's hard to put a mall like right off 205. And so anyways, that happened. I actually passed it, and I got to see the sign that said, hey, Mall 205. Now, okay, I'm getting into this little territory here, so this part can get a little dicey. You got just a lot of people coming on the freeway, you got a lot of people coming off the freeway. Sometimes there's just like good exchanges that happen here, like, hey, your car, take my car spot, and all that. There's a nice little like old school kind of classic car behind me. So the time right now is 1:47 p.m. and I am just basically minutes away from getting on that toilet and being able to take this dump. The official time, I said, is 1:47. You are here because you wanted to see what it's like to be driving at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, driving home to take a poop. Driving home. It was 1 o'clock on a Sunday and I'm driving home to take a poop. That's what I'm doing. So I'm getting off of my exit right now. Again, I'm about 38 minutes into this drive. We got over, I don't know, like 80 blocks to go before I can get there. And I'm gonna do the switcheroo again. And I did a bunch of yard work yesterday, and so my thumb on my left hand got kind of dinked up. And yeah, so that's what happened there. My thumb got dinked up, and so it's a little hard to hold it on my left, is my point. But I figured out a nice little resting position. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Okay, I'm on Lombard, for those who know Lombard, and that's where I am right now. It is 1:48 on a Sunday, and I am driving home to take a dump. Started this adventure right around 1 o'clock, and I've been in the car for about 40 minutes, 39 minutes, according to my video recorder. And this area is going to, of course, slow down a little bit more. That is all good. So I'm going to get home, like I said, and my son's probably going to be like, hey, Dad, I gotta, let's hang out. Like, be my dad. Look at me, Dad. I missed you. And I will say, hey, son, I don't have time for it. It is 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I just drove home to take a dump. But I will see you afterwards. So, all right, cool. We're getting there more and more, and it's been a good drive so far. Like I said, it's a beautiful drive out there. Get your Sasquatch. We passed the Mall 205. We went through Barton. It's so crazy. Like this is like over a 30-mile drive for me to do. And it's just so amazing to live in this age where I can like do a 30-mile drive. My son and I were learning about the Romans yesterday, and we learned about legionnaires, who are like those Roman soldiers who were dressed up in all that gear that we're all like, I feel like we commonly associate Roman soldiers with. And the legionnaires would walk with packs that had at least 90 pounds worth of gear, and they would walk and travel up to 20 miles in a day with 90-pound packs. You have to remember, these guys they're not like, they're crossing over all sorts of land. They're not just like walking on a flat hill. All right, this bus has fully just finessed me, pulled out in front of me, and slow rolling it. I wish they didn't do that. It definitely slowed me down, but it's all good. They're going to turn left here. Aggressive move by a bus driver, but what are you going to do? He's not having to drive home to take a dump. Boy, could you imagine being a bus driver and needing to take a dump, and you can't just like drive home to take a dump, and there's no toilet in your workspace, and you're just like bussing people around needing to take a poop? Not a position I'd want to be in. I want to have the autonomy to poop when I want to poop. Generally, like I told you earlier, I'm pooping at like 9 a.m. It's about my regular poop time. I held it in today because, like as I talked about at the beginning of this video, like I held it in because just the proximity of the bathroom to coworkers and stuff just didn't feel like, I just didn't feel like I wanted to poop next to them, but so I'm not, obviously, but it is gonna happen, and I'm slowly getting into my home turf. Got blocks and blocks to go, but I'm getting there. And Lombard is like a big through street. It's a 4-laner, just like basically almost as north as you can get in Portland. Of course, you can get a little more north, but it's a big road. Trucks and stuff come through here, and yep. Man, you can feel it coming in the air this Sunday afternoon. It's 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am driving home to take a poop. It's gonna be good to see my family. They're gonna miss me. And let's do that. Let's see if I can cut through this Dodge. There's a Dodge Caravan in front of me going a little slow. Also just passed this Lewis and Clark trail sign. For those who know, Lewis and Clark basically followed the Columbia down and got into Oregon. So there's all these different like sections in the state of Oregon where you can go on their trail or whatever. And yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I've been learning a little bit more about Lewis and Clark lately. Pretty wild. I found out that I think it was Meriwether Lewis was actually like quite attached to Thomas Jefferson, and even worked in the White House during those years. And essentially where I'm at in this book, I'm doing audiobook style though, which is fun. I like to take a little walk and put on the audiobook, or do a run and listen to the audiobook. And this isn't my first time doing it. I've done it with other audiobooks, if you're wondering. And yeah, just getting to learn more about it and where they came from and what it meant for them back in the day. Definitely a big motivation was to get out west to just help the United States establish ownership out there before, you had the French, you had the Spanish, you even had the Mexicans, all kind of at that time period competing for space in the United States. So I think it's, really driven by that, one, just, sort of curiosity, but mainly beyond curiosity, it was really to establish, at least where I'm at in this book, it was to establish like a presence out there. And they definitely knew the Pacific was out there, and they had heard stories, but it had been essentially untapped by white people at that time. And Jefferson had thought if you went out west that you might be running into like giant sloths and mammoths and stuff. They just had no clue what it was going to be, but they found, they did it. I'm not at that part in the book, but I know they did it because I live here, and it's clearly been, we moved in. that's for sure. And yeah, so it's been interesting to learn a little bit more about Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. They have families who participated in the Revolutionary War. There's this interesting story about the Whiskey Rebellion, if you are familiar with that. It was shortly after the Revolutionary War. The federal government wanted to put a whiskey tax, and it almost divided the country as it was at the time. Like this really, I think the country was like maybe 18 years old. And, you know, people were like, hey, the whole point of us, you know, doing the whole Revolutionary War was like we didn't want to be taxed like this. And so so you know, I think like Meriwether Lewis participated in some like military joinings, and that revolution was essentially squashed. And I think they just figured out to tax something else. They want to tax the whiskey, but I'm not an expert in the whiskey revolution or the you know, whatever. So I'm in my neighborhood, which is great. It is 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and I am about to take a dump. I've never been closer to my house than right now on this whole trip. This is the closest I've ever been to my house on this trip, and I am so excited. It's weird when it's like, how does your body know? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you see it and stuff, but it's like crazy how my body's like, you are close to home, and I'm gonna like make your poop even more present. So here he is. It took me about 47 minutes to get here. I'm gonna have to like kind of do a sloppy park job. We got neighbors' trash bins, our trash bins, and all good. But I'm officially home, and I'm gonna put you in the park. With that, I'm gonna go right in. Hey, Ursa. How you doing? Good. A little walk. Hello? Hi, I gotta go poop. So I'll be right back. Hi, handsome. You took it at Uncle Tane's. I think you took it. Hi. Okay, I'll be right back. Turn on that fan. It is the official time. I don't know. 1:50. Gonna come home.